You need a website. Why not do it yourself? With Wix, you can create your own professional website that looks stunning. There are hundreds of designer-made templates to get you started. Whether you're a small business owner or an artist, we've got something for you. Wix intuitive drag-and-drop website builder lets you create a site that looks exactly the way you want. Change text, choose any background you want, add beautiful galleries, customize anything to get a site that's completely original. You can even set up an online store in seconds. With just a few clicks, you can connect your site to your favorite social media channels and add popular web apps and services like Google Maps, contact forms, and so much more. Just like that, you've got your own professional website that looks stunning and is fully optimized for mobile view. Create your stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Alarms go off when I enter the building.
We are 24 Designs, Jeff Gordon Graphics and more. We make custom graphics, logos, and even iRacing paint schemes. Check us out on the web at www.24-designs.com for requests today. Again, that is 24-designs.com. 24 Designs, where the best graphics are made.
You need a website. Why not do it yourself? With Wix, you can create your own professional website that looks stunning. There are hundreds of designer-made templates to get you started. Whether you're a small business owner or an artist, we've got something for you. Wix' intuitive drag-and-drop website builder lets you create a site that looks exactly the way you want. Change text, choose any background you want, add beautiful galleries, customize anything to get a site that's completely original. You can even set up an online store in seconds. With just a few clicks, you can connect your site to your favorite social media channels and add popular web apps and services like Google Maps, contact forms, and so much more. Just like that, you've got your own professional website that looks stunning and is fully optimized for mobile view. Create your stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Alarms go off when I enter.
Thursday night here. It is time. It's finally time to get back to the Crescent Moon Contracting Sportsman Series here. Getting ready to go racing for the first inaugural race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with these boys qualifying, just now wrapping up, Shane. It looks like it's going to be a competitive race. Over to you, though. Through the qualifying winner.
Yeah, we got a big amount of drivers here tonight, as you said, Steve, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway tonight. On the pole, to no surprise, Corey Hoover, always fast at these bigger tracks. Chad Coleman to his outside in the second spot. Michael Laria, last week's winner, very fast. He'll be third with Joy Woods in fourth. Shane Terrian will start fifth with Chris Wright outside of him in sixth. Bradley Burke will start seventh with Zach Michael. A nice qualifying effort there for him in eighth. Mark Murphy will start ninth with Mike Van Layson rounding out the top 10. Joseph Tice will start 11th. Ryan Dyson in 12th. A little bit disappointing qualifying effort there. Bronson Stafford back this week in 13th. Joe Lawrence to his outside in 14th. At Bradley Grant Davis in 15th, and to his outside, Mark Ruffalo in 16th. Jamie Haley starts 17th tonight with Mike Tellier in 18th. Thomas Story in 9th, and Tom Bourne in 20th with Trevor Ruffalo and Jason Thompson 2. Both those drivers did not take time, and they will start 21st and 22nd respectively.
And this will be the second week in a row that Austin Hartenfels has been absent here from the CMC Sportsman Series, so we'll have to see if we can't get an update here, and maybe someone will pile on in for interviews as the night goes on. We'll have to see there. But 78 degrees here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. After today, we go to the Canadian Grand Prix over in Circle Gills Villeneuve, and then over to Talladega, Pocono, and New Hampshire. That's your next couple of races. Those are looking really, really fun. It's a lot of fun anytime you can go to any of those places.
Yeah, definitely a very unique mix of tracks left on the schedule, and really starts with tonight, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 2.5 mile racetrack, pretty much flat banking, and it's going to be interesting to see these guys, as you said, Steve, tackle this for the first time ever.
And this is one of the first times that Hartenfels has not been inside the top three when it comes to points, so it's a little bit different not seeing him up there. Hoover's got 66 points now over the second place driver, Mark Murphy.
Yeah, it's a big points gap. Mark Murphy second, Michael Laria 74 back despite the win last week. He is a huge margin as well, Chris Wright. And then, as you said, Steve, Austin Hartenfels way back in fifth in points to start tonight. He will fall even further with being absent from tonight's race, so tough break for Austin. Hopefully get an update, as you said, before the end of tonight. But as the field gets ready to grid up, we're just moments away from starting here at the grid yard.
But the field's getting lined up behind the Ford First Mustang pace car. Actually, well, the American Childhood Cancer Organization pace car, if we're being correct here. And we'll be getting ready to go green flag racing. Shane, this place is a monster track. It's different from any other place we go to. What are the drivers here going to have to do to come away victorious?
Well, I think definitely when you come to a track like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, track position, I know we say this every week, but at this track especially is key. There's not a lot of passing opportunities, and there's really no outside groove at this track. It's the inside up against the inside portions of each turn, and pretty much up against the wall, down the back straightaway and front straightaway make your passes. So these guys. Track position is going to be key here tonight. It's going to be an 80-lap race, so relatively long, relatively short, I guess, if you look at it in different terms. But these guys stay toward the front and keep those fenders clean, help that aerodynamics, and you should be in for a good showing.
And on the flip side, if you get yourself in trouble, get that car damaged, get in some type of accident, you're going to be definitely looking for any way to get that damage fixed, or you're basically just going to be out of luck here, as aerodynamics is everything, as this place is one of the largest tracks here at the NASCAR schedule. So really, like I said, these guys, they have to be pretty flawless here tonight on the aerodynamic side.
I think turn one's also an interesting portion to watch it when you come to Indy, and it's just one of those things. These guys, they get up to speed, they go down the entire front straightaway, and then they barrel down at turn number one. And for some drivers, that's a big surprise, just how the turn really falls off. These are really tight turns, and it's something that you really have to go out there and drive to experience for yourself. So have to see if these guys can sort it out here on lap one, and then after that, see some nice racing action. I think these guys are going to be pretty much on top of each other all night, and possibly using some nice draft and slipstream moves to make some passes.
Pace car down and away to the attention of Corey Hoover. Chad Coleman here. Long straightaway, but green flag there for control for the 200.
Really the pressure point, as I talked about, turn one. These guys all fighting for that one line, the inside line, and they can if they slot in. See Chad Coleman, he started second, all the way back to fourth, and continuing to fall as they make their way down the back straightaway.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where that aerodynamic track surface really isn't going to change the racing all that much. So we'll keep our eyes on it here, see how it works, but I really don't think we'll see too much out of it.
I think definitely, as in terms of racing, it's pretty much going to be the same, as you said, Steve, but when these guys, they run that same line, and every car literally runs the exact same line against that white line in the turns and down the front straightaway as well, it's going to rubber up that groove, and these guys, they're going to have to go there to still be fast, so you're going to possibly have to drive the car differently as the run goes on in order to keep up speed, and really who can keep up with the track might be faster as the run goes on.
And then a lot of pink in the field, of course. October's President's in this month here. And a lot of drivers representing it there is, oh boy, Ryan Dyson got real loose. He was able to wheel and deal there and save it down the back. Bronson Stafford's looking to see by his inside. Joseph Tice does. Joe Warren's also looking to get by his teammate. Looks like he will be able to fall back in line. Up in the front, though, it's Michael Araya, who has come to life over the past few weeks trying to chase down Corey Hoover. Corey Hoover did lead the first lap. And we've got a lot of drivers right there, all up in the top five.
Yeah, tons of great runs in the last couple of weeks. Corey Hoover, Michael Araya, as you talked about, Steve, Shane Terry, and Chris Wright has run well. Bradley Burke, maybe not the finish he wanted last week, but definitely he has been fast on these longer tracks, and tonight is a great example of that. As big as Indy is, it's a great opportunity for someone like Bradley Burke or even someone else toward the back of the field to make things happen and take advantage of a bigger track, something you really don't see that often.
Chad Coleman fell all the way back to 6th position on that restart there. He was shoved up on that outside, so he just was not able to get the momentum running. So right now he's sitting outside that top 5 looking in, just hoping to figure out as the run goes on how that car is going to feel. I do believe you can go about 35 laps, correct me Shane if I'm wrong, here on fuel. So these guys will be able to go for a good amount of time on fuel before they have any types of problems, but it's going to be the tires that these guys got to be careful for.
Yeah, it's going to be about 30 to 35 laps, and these guys, pretty much it's a 2-stop race because there's no way you can split it in half and go 40 and 40, so these guys for sure going to have to come down pit road at least twice. What they do on those stops obviously is up to them. It could be a situation where if we see green for this whole race, which is possible, it's a big track, these guys could take 4 tires and maybe take 2 at the end. It's just something we'll have to wait and see because 2 tires definitely is an option at this track.
Up in front, Michael Araya trying to chase down Hoover. The gap's closed a little bit here, as he's actually probably gotten back into the draft there. That'll probably start to slowly reel him in, so we'll keep an eye on this battle for what could be the lead. A little bit further on, Mark Murphy. He's battling now with Chad Coleman.
Yeah, Mark Murphy, the Las Vegas winner before, almost 3 wide into that turn, and they will go 3 wide for a split second. As Bradley Burke drifts up out of the group, but Mark Murphy, one of those guys, he's pretty sneaky when it comes to these bigger tracks. He's got the speed, shows up late, and runs really well, so I'm going to watch him all night and see if he can make his way through the field. He started 9th up to 7th and looking for more here. These guys are going to use the draft all night tonight, and now a little bit of bump drafting almost down the front straightaway there, taking advantage of that extra speed you get in doing that and trying to get these guys by each other, really.
Out there for that third place, Chris Wright moves in front of Shane Terry there. He sent that towards machine back in the third position. Not feeling much pressure, but Ryan Dyson more struggles as he's actually going to loop it around. He'll keep it up off the track there, I do believe, so no caution, but and there's the caution as he pulls up on the track.
When we take a look at this replay, it's actually going to start all the way in turn 1. Does this spin from Ryan Dyson? Pretty surprising it ends over there, but we'll check it out and see exactly what happened.
Replay on your screen here. He starts to get loose. He's already trying to save it. He had to avoid Joe Lawrence. And he does a nice job avoiding him. He's got to keep it down on that pit road exit, but gets down in the grass and loop around. Unfortunately, didn't lock it down, so he'll slide back up in front of traffic there, which will bring the caution back out. So we're on caution.
Yeah, I think what happened there is Ryan got loose, and he was probably going to save it, but he had to hit the brakes so hard there and so suddenly because of Joe Lawrence, and you know, doing that, he went the car, or it got the car to go around, and then he spun out and did a nice job to keep it off the wall there. That was pretty difficult. Been some pretty horrific wrecks as he almost spins it out under caution here, saves it again, but possibly a flat tire on that car, but nonetheless, definitely a good job keeping it off the wall, and so bring the field to our first caution.
It's very, very easy to get yourself into a wall when you're trying to save your machine. These things can be very difficult to hold on to, especially after taking it through the grass there. So under our first caution of the night, pretty early on, we'll take a quick commercial break here and we'll be back for the restart.
You need a website. Why not do it yourself? With Wix, you can create your own professional website that looks stunning. There are hundreds of designer-made templates to get you started. Whether you're a small business owner or an artist, we've got something for you. Wix's intuitive drag-and-drop website builder lets you create a site that looks exactly the way you want. Change text, choose any background you want, add beautiful galleries, customize anything to get a site that's completely original. You can even set up an online store in seconds. With just a few clicks, you can connect your site to your favorite social media channels and add popular web apps and services like Google Maps, contact forms, and so much more. Just like that, you've got your own professional website that looks stunning and is fully optimized for mobile view. Create your stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Alarms go off when I enter the building.
We are 24 Designs, Jeff Gordon Graphics and more. We make custom graphics, logos, and even iRacing paint schemes. Check us out on the web at www.24-designs.com for requests today. Again, that is 24-designs.com. 24 Designs, where the best graphics are made.
Field working 3 and 4 here, getting ready to get back to green flag racing. Almost everyone brought it down. Just a couple of cars inside that top 5. I do believe the top 4 did not. Everybody else got at least 2 tires down on pit road. So green flag back in the air here. We're back to racing the Control Freak 200 live on CFI Indianapolis Speedway Studios. Back to racing. Let's take a look at this restart here.
Definitely could. Michael Larea, he's stuck on the outside in second. He's trying all he can to get in. He makes it in, barely squeezes it in. But how about that move to the inside? Shane Terrian a little bit loose. Michael Finlayson's going around to the back.
And nobody will hit him, so we're back under caution here.
Just looks like what happens there is Michael gets into turn 2 there a little bit loose, and the car just goes around him, avoids contact with the wall, and no one hits him as well. So it looks like that car just 4 tires and fuel under this caution, and he'll be all set.
Got you for a rundown here with the current running order. It's Corey Hoover, Michael Araya, Terry, Chris Wright, Rally Grant, Davis Bradley, Stafford there. That's your top 10. Zach Michael, Mark Murphy, Mark Roppolo, Tom Bourne, Thomas Story, Ryan Dyson, Jamie Haley, then Trevor Roppolo, Joe Lawrence, and then Mike Tellier. And then to round out the field there, Michael Finlayson involved in that last caution. Just a
And definitely after that first caution, we see some guys toward the front that weren't there on the initial start. Rally Grant Davis in the 24 started back in 15th. He's up into the top 5 in that 24 car. So a great run for him early on. It's only lap 20 of 8 or 12, I should say. Wow, of 80. So still quite a ways to go, but good to see someone like Rally Grant Davis up inside the top 5. Also Joseph Tice started outside the top 10. He's currently inside the top 10 in 7th. So he's moving forward, and several other guys in the field have taken the advantage to move forward early on, and it's really what you have to do. If you don't get the qualifying effort you were looking for, just do the best you can to get through the field and get yourself in a good spot for later in the race. As you welcome Austin into the booth. Hello, Austin. These guys back at it at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Shane Terry and Chris Wright inside line. Shane Terry into the lead down the back straightaway. Well, so far the strategies we've seen some of these guys use is using that draft down the straightaways to make the passes they need, and these guys taking advantage of it there. Corey Hoover goes from 1st to 5th in 1 lap. All these guys using the draft to slip by him, but definitely the biggest struggle we've seen tonight has been off the turns, and particularly turn 2, where we've seen 2 spins by Ryan Dyson and also Michael Finlayson to start this race off with 2 cautions. So it's a very tricky turn, and we'll continue to watch that all night as Corey Hoover has a moment there in turn 2. Still watching a big-time battle back here for about the 4th spot or so. As Joseph Tice moves up into 5th. Corey Hoover restarted on the front row and first on this initial restart, and now has fallen outside the top 5 to 6th, and he continues to fall back. Michael Larrea's back there with him, and all these guys have problems getting back to the inside line, and Corey Hoover still can't find a place in line. All these guys going right by him.
The number 38 machine himself,
Yeah, showing some really good speed early on is Shane, and he is doing the best he can to pull away, but the 3 guys behind him, they're pretty much right up against him, and they are not letting him get away for the lead. Chris Wright getting a nice draft off there in turns 1 and 2. He's going to look to the inside, a little bit of a block by Shane. Not going to prevail. They're going to be side by side for the lead in turn 3. Still an incredible battle going on here for the top spot. All 4 drivers right on top of each other. Chris Wright, Shane Terrian still neck and neck, side by side. Bradley Burke, Chad Coleman all within that little battle. And then 2 seconds back, Joseph Tice. So these guys, these top 4, they're trying to break away from the rest of the field, but having a hard time agreeing who wants to lead.
As they continue to battle it out, definitely you see Coleman and Burke falling back a little bit as they aren't exactly shooting for first place, continuing between themselves right now. Palmer shooting number 1, but it looks like they're going to be battling for first position.
Yeah, definitely they've fallen off these 2 guys up front. Nonetheless, they're still going for it.
As I just got news report that Dyson spun out as he makes his plan back up to the top 15 of his moment as he battles out him and Tom Bourne are going to be battling it out for 15th position as they don't look back and just going for it.
Yeah, they're going big time back here for around the 15th spot, and these guys, they might be far off the leaders, but they are still battling hard, and Also see the 9 of Trevor Roppolo in that battle.
I also hear that Michael chasing him, but unfortunately has been dropped to 9th position. At least he's still in the top 10. There's plenty of room and a lot of leeway trying to get back to the top 5, possibly taking it. But unfortunately, we see him back here at number 9, and I'd like to see what that for him to be throughout this race.
And also behind him back in 10th, Corey Hoover, as he's really loose off turn 1 there. Another nice save, but looks like the handling on 33 car is going away, and he is almost wrecking it. Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like Corey Hoover just unfortunately losing placements there. He's going to have to move on his confidence. Unfortunately, he's going to have to jump out of this.
Yeah, he has fallen way back as Corey Hoover, and I think he's just hoping for a caution at this point, all the way back to 18th, and now actually 19th as Thomas Story goes around that machine. So big time developments early on. Our pollster, Corey Hoover, into the wall and is having some severe handling problems early on.
Yeah, they've tired there, so he spun out a little bit. So just don't know. So it looks a little bit uncomfortable in that tight position. But yeah, I think that he's definitely going to be affected by the damage and everything like that. Is he's supposed to drop his skill as well. So we look at his ways. That was one of the I think that this race will be not the best for him, ladies and gentlemen, but let's hope for the best.
Let's take a look at some guys. 10th on back, Michael Finlayson in 10th. We talked about him spinning out, causing the second caution at tonight's event, and we've been green since, but he's done a nice job of making his way back up where he started. He started 10th, and he's currently 10th. So moving forward is Michael, and he looks to have a better run here tonight than that spin. Zach Michael behind him in 11th is doing a nice job there. Also supporting those pink colors for Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in the month of October. Cool to see that. He's back in 11th, and Mark Roppolo, talked about him a little bit before. He's in 12th at the moment, started 16th, so another one of those guys moving forward. But Ryan Dyson, he's had a tough night so far, been outside the top 10. Was the first caution when he went around in turns 1 and 2, so he's back in 13th and trying to find some speed. But back up front, Chris Wright continues to lead, and it's about a couple car lengths back to Shane Terrian, who's continuing to get loose, and all the way back to third is Bradley Burke, a second and a half back. But so far, Austin, what I'm noticing is these guys continue to run, getting very loose off the corner, and much like we saw Corey Hoover get into the wall, some of these guys having a very tough time getting off turn 2.
You know, I think that they're going to realize how easy the mistakes were. Steve right there in the car as we've seen earlier on in this race, to my understandings. But I think that if they take the time to realize that they're not playing smart on turn them in their belt, you might see a little bit more solid speed coming out of these racers, but they keep taking it a little bit risky, and one of these times may just not catch themselves.
And that's the thing with running the same line. Literally all these cars, all 21 cars still running in tonight's event, is running the exact same line around the racetrack, and that is on the white line and up against the wall down the back and front straightaways. So, I mean, when you have that many cars running that kind of a line lap after lap, it's going to put heat in the track and put rubber on the track, and it's going to create for some very loose conditions, and these guys are learning that the hard way right now. And well, got some unfortunate news for them, and that it's going to only get worse as the run continues and as the race continues. So this guy's going to be fighting loose all night, and it might get to a point where if you can hang on to your car, you're going to finish well. So we're going to continue to watch that in Morse. We're working lap 27 now of 80. Still plenty ways to go, but Chris Wright continues to show the way.
First place position, but I think that he's going to hope for a caution later down the road, think about strategy a little bit more, try to take those turns with a little bit more steadiness, and just hope to take first place, just as, I'm sure that will be in the top 5 is looking at this point, as I take a look at Joseph. That is easy to end up on contender in this, but they're all a little bit spaced out, as they should have. We'll see.
Yeah, actually what happens is we just got a caution on the track. Michael Finlayson has gone around again in turn 2. That'll bring us under yet another caution.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back.
You need a website. Why not do it yourself? With Wix, you can create your own professional website that looks stunning. There are hundreds of designer-made templates to get you started. Whether you're a small business owner or an artist, we've got something for you. Wix's intuitive drag-and-drop website builder lets you create a site that looks exactly the way you want. Change text, choose any background you want, add beautiful galleries, customize anything to get a site that's completely original. You can even set up an online store in seconds. With just a few clicks, you can connect your site to your favorite social media channels and add popular web apps and services like Google Maps, contact forms, and so much more. Just like that, you've got your own professional website that looks stunning and is fully optimized for mobile view. Create your stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Alarms go off when I enter the building.
We are 24 Designs, Jeff Gordon Graphics and more. We make custom graphics, logos, and even iRacing paint schemes. Check us out on the web at www.24-designs.com for requests today. Again, that is 24-designs.com. 24 Designs, where the best graphics are made.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as the pace car is out. We are just waiting for the caution.
Gonna have some new front runners at the front. Joseph Tice and also Chris Wright will lead the field to green here. Gonna be interesting to see how they have it here. Obviously, it's gonna be a long race, but got some new faces up front. Could change up how this restart goes. Good restart by Joseph Tice. He'll take the lead and try and power away as we've got battle more toward outside the top 10 or so. Corey Huber, he's trying to make his way back up toward the front. Got some tires, pulled some fenders on that car. So he's going to try and make his way back to where he at least was at the beginning of the last run. And also the 42 of Michael Finlayson, he spun out to cause that caution, but he's just outside the top 10 and 11 despite this. But as Corey Hoover continues to move forward, Chris Wright moves back forward to the lead, and Joseph Tice under big attacks. Here comes Shane Terrian. Also Doy Woods making some moves there. They're snaking it down the front straightaway, and what I mean by that is they're trying to break the draft, go to the inside, almost the inner part of the wall. They're trying to get that slipstream to go away through the car in front, but these guys, they want that draft to get by the car in front. Chris Wright continues to lead, but here comes Doy Woods. He's going to pull out. See if Shane Terrian might help with some draft on the front straightaway. They're going to try and go by Joseph Tice for the second spot. And all this is allowing Chris Wright to continue to pull away as Doy gets a little bit high there in turn one. Nonetheless, completes the pass and moves to second. So Doy Woods, despite starting fourth, hasn't been in the top five for most of the night, up to second and moving strong. part, everything has subsided itself, but a little bit of a battle here for around 5th. Watching guys like Joseph Tice, Bradley Burke, Michael Larea, Corey Hoover, and also Ryan Dyson. All these guys pretty much on top of each other, fighting for the same real estate, but also big contributions by Ryan Dyson. He's back inside the top 10. He's had a rough night so far, but looking to turn things around. Is getting just about close to halfway.
As we see the battle for the first place, and Doy Woods battling it out for first place, held by we have also some of the places in the pack. We have the 12 machine, 12 place, we have 39 machines. Some of the best contenders related.
Yeah, Zach Michaels back there, 13th, 14th, Riley Grant Davis, 15th, Mark Garoppolo. Joe Lawrence is back in 16th. He's had some contact with the wall. Also Chad Coleman, he was inside the top 5 at the caution. He's back in 17th. That car was on pit road pulling fenders after hitting the wall. Jamie Haley, Tom Bourne, Thomas Story, and Mike Tellier round out the field in the back. And all these guys chasing the new leader out front, Doy Woods. After making the pass a couple laps ago, he is now the new leader.
You know, just an interesting little fact is the fact that I believe he's the only Mustang almost in the top position. Yeah, he's beating out all these Camaros, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's him, 7 Camaros, and then all the way back 9th place, Mark Murphy. He's in the next Ford Mustang, so got a lot of Camaros here tonight. And I think an interesting point to point out, iRacing now has the new Toyota Camry Xfinity car, and that is not eligible to be run in the UpperEdge CMC Sportsman Series, so it's an interesting fact, but for now we stay with Chevys and Fords.
Yeah, it's going to be some current cars out here. I think that's going to be a big difference. If it ever happens, of course.
Yeah, it's already happened. It's just UpperEdge would have to approve that, and I think it'd be cool to see the Toyota Camry here in this series. Definitely would bring a new perspective to it, so I guess maybe something to think about for next season, but nonetheless, we've still got quite a ways to go in this season, and for guys up front tonight, not really that important points racing. Most of these guys are already way far back in the points that it really doesn't matter. Corey Hoover, he's the points leader, but right now in 6th, he's just looking to have a solid night, extend that points lead. Guys like Doy Woods, Chris Wright, Shane Terrian, they know they're pretty much out of the run for the championship, so they're going to go out here and try and go for the win, and they're doing just that as Chris Wright retakes the lead. And he'll go to the inside of Doy Woods for the second spot, dive it down in there, and he will complete the pass as Bradley Burke tried to poke a nose underneath Doy and unable to make it, and now Doy Woods tries to come back again to the inside, and they really have to check up.
Well, it looks like Ford had their reign for a little bit there, but Chevy's taking it back.
Talking about taking it back, Corey Hoover's trying to take it back from Michael Larea, trying to move back inside the top 5, and he will make the pass. Corey Hoover back inside the top 5. He's had an eventful night, but finds his way back in a familiar spot. Officially a lap away from halfway, and so far in the first half of this race, we've seen pretty much green flag racing. Only 3 cautions, and they've been for single car incidents off of turn 2. 1 for Ryan Dyson and 2 cautions for self-spins from Michael Finlayson. But since then, these guys pretty much awesome racing, tons of passes down the straightaways, and we've seen some guys make some moves really didn't expect to happen, and I think it's going to just make the second half of the race just that much more intense. And speaking of moves, here comes Corey Hoover ducking it down to the inside to make a move on Bradley Burke here for the 4th spot.
Oh, as it looks like Theron is trying to make his move on number 20 machine. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and on the inside, he has taken it. Theron has taken first place. I would gotta say, this first place battle has been definitely one for the books, as we say, just hopping left and right from the way it was. Chris Wright and Shane Theron, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, tons of passes, especially toward the front for the lead. That's always nice to see. Creates great racing and great enjoyment for the fans. And Chris Wright might be looking to retake it again, but he'll go ahead and slot back in there in second. So nonetheless, all these guys continue to ride in line. The top 4, pretty much them in their own pack, and then it's back to 5th with Bradley Burke and Michael Orea, who's actually made a pass to get back into the top 5. So Orea, last week's winner's moving up, but Mark Murphy, he's in 7th, and he's making his way toward these guys. So possibly bring another Mustang back into the battle. As these guys battle for second, looks like we'll have a caution on the speed.
As the caution flags are out, ladies and gentlemen, I do not see any official wreckage in the accident involved but we've seen that several times already this race, so it's not a problem.
Chad Coleman in the 6th car went around off turn 2. That's another wreck. All 4 cautions from tonight's event out of turn 2. So these guys having a really hard time handling that turn. Just a self-spin, nothing else happening there. No contact made with any car or wall. So that'll bring us under caution again and give these guys a chance to come back down pit road. So as the pace car continues to stay out, everyone will make that turn down pit road, which should be 4 tires and fuel. Looks like Chris Wright will win the race off pit road, followed by Shane Terry and Corey Hoover. Michael Larea and Michael Finlayson coming out in fifth there off there. That'll be nice, nice restarting position for him as these guys yet another pit stop complete. So as we continue to work under caution, for the most part, these guys getting ready to get back to green flag racing. 22 cars started tonight's event. We are down to 20 cars as Jason Thompson and Joseph Tice have officially retired from the event. So since then, 20 cars remain. Mike Tellier back in 20th as the final car. So here we go. Chris Wright will be the pole, or the guy on the first spot at the inside. Shane Terry into his outside at second. Corey Hoover's up to third, Michael Larea fourth, Michael Finlayson fifth. Round out the top 5 for this restart. Pace car getting ready to pull off here. Lap 46 going to be complete. Going to be working on lap 47 of 80. Still got tons of laps left in this race and tons of chances for some great racing action. Pace cars off, green flags back out. We're back to racing in Indy. Great start by everyone else in front. Looks like Chris Wright continues to lead. Michael Larea working on the outside of Corey Hoover there for the third spot. Doing everything he can to make that outside groove work. If it possibly does, he'll have to run down the back straightaway, but they're going to be still neck and neck for the third spot as the top 6 continue to try and break away.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely a really this for sure because iRacing, anything can happen. Washington's driving, all that good stuff. This may decide out the race right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, for the most part, we've seen just single bar spins off of turn 2. So if those are finally done for the night, which we have no idea, I guess it's anyone's guess. If they are, it's been clean racing. So without a doubt, we could see green flag from here on out. And that's going to definitely shape things up. If you didn't get a good restart, you're now behind. And if you got a great restart, well, now you have your chance to move forward as Corey Hoover takes an absolute gutsy dive to the inside, tried to take away the second spot in one turn, and now he's going to fall back from third and possibly lose that to Michael Larea.
As it really looks like Chris Wright is moving away from the crowd. Just about 2 car lengths there in front of Theron, number 20, 38 machine. And I think that he's going to be down the road for a while now. Like I said, it's not putting him in any way, shape, or form in a guaranteed position.
It really isn't, but he's doing his job, keeping the track position and really learning the limits of what it's like to be out in clean air, not having anyone really on your rear bumper, affecting the draft on that car and affecting the handling of that car. So Chris Wright, he's learning a lot for possibly later in the race when it really counts. Shane Terrian, he's also relatively in clean air. He's just got that one car in front of him, but he's doing a nice job of having some speed. And Corey Hoover, his night's been all over the place. Really have no idea how fast he's going to be for the rest of the tonight. So it's going to be all about luck and learning for him. Bradley Burke, Michael Larea, they've had pretty good battles and been inside the top 5 for most of the night, so I'd expect consistency from them. And also Ryan Dyson, I guess someone to throw into the mix, along with Michael Finlayson. Both those guys have spun around, but have made their way back up into the top 10. A little bit further back, Joey Woods in 8th. He was the leader at one point in this race, but he has fallen outside the top 5 into the 8th spot. Trevor Rapolo, he started way back at 21st, did not register a qualifying lap, remember, and he's back inside the top 10 in 9th. Bronson Stafford will complete the top 10 in 10th there, and he's doing a nice job of just hanging on. He's had a solid night. Mark Rapolo back at 11th. Mark Murphy, he's fallen outside the top 11. He actually is up to 9th with that pass there, so a nice lap for Mark Murphy, and that's going to pretty much move that Ford Mustang back up where it needs to be.
Kind of looks like he was trying to play the inside a little bit there, but he sort of right back into the inside balance and picked up one momentum there. Now he's just trying to
Just behind him, Bronson Stafford looking to crack top 10, and he will with that pass on Trevor Rapolo. So a nice job there from Bronson to get back into the top 10. Also Chad Coleman, we're watching him back here. He Remember, he's still been on and off pit road for damage repair to that right side and been using these cautions to help that. And thus has picked up some speed, and he's back up into 13th, looking to make some spots up and kind of get back to that top 5, because we know that car is fast. It's going to be about getting the track position really for him. Turn our attention back toward the front. Chris Wright still about half a second lead over Shane Terrian and Corey Huber. As Huber continues to try and battle hard, but now we're starting to see that car get really loose. And could this be the turn of events? As we saw earlier on one of the long runs where that car started off, really fired off great, but then all of a sudden, really the right rear fell off of it, literally, and he started falling back, got contact with the wall, and fell outside the top 20 almost. So going to have to watch Corey and see how that car reacts to this longer run.
Yeah, as he's really climbed up from, you know, basically being one of the, like, top 6 places. Anything too high. I mean, he wasn't out of the top, top 5 contender in any way, shape, or form, but he's definitely climbed up to the top 3 positions, and you know what? I would like to see him keep climbing.
Yeah, he's up to 3rd. Doesn't really have that far to go, but what he's really going to have to worry about is those rear tires. He's getting really loose off the corner, particularly the right rear tire on these left-handed tracks. Obviously, going to take the most load when you get loose off the corner. So we'll have to continue to watch and see if it gets worse and he falls back again. He's always had the speed on the 1.5 miles, so kind of a concern, maybe a little bit, just kind of struggling tonight on the long run is Corey. So have to watch how that car goes. He's got guys like Bradley Burke and Michael Larea all behind him back in 4th and 5th. So we'll have to watch all these guys. The top 5 pretty much spread out as Shane Terrian throws a block in front straight away. Throws the block and it works, and Shane Terrian will keep that spot. Corey Huber in close pursuit behind. What I was saying is that the top 5 within a second of each other, and pretty much there's no one else behind him back in 6th now.
We're absolutely right. This top 5 here, as it's really thin out. It's really just double right here. They can look towards leaping forward and going after, of course, Chris Wright, the number 20 machine, who has just held the first place position for 30 laps now, 31, my bad, just was corrected. And he's been firmly holding that. If he continues to hold it, I think that we're going to see a little bit of hostility coming from other racers, definitely towards the end, just, trying to take out a little bit of aggravation. But I'd like to see what this happens to Finn out the second place, assuming he's going to be the one to take on the number 1 place, Chris Wright.
And looks like caution's out. 6th car, Chad Coleman. He has once again gone around, and that is the 2nd car tonight that has gone around twice in turn 2. All the cautions have taken place there. We'll pull up a replay.
As we only have 24 laps to go, I believe we probably have 20 laps to go into this caution is gone. So we'll be seeing some more action as the racers realize that it's coming to a close.
Yeah, the intensity is going to continue to ramp up and more as we get closer to the end. These restarts going to be a key factor getting those spots and moving forward. So really going to have to see how those affected. Chris Wright, he's pretty much been in the driver's seat all night and out there leading the most laps in clean air. Really had no one to deal with all night. See if these guys make a pit stop. Maybe he will keep that lead, and if he doesn't, definitely look for him to make his way through the field. But everyone behind him, they know they have to do something to beat him. So you could see some strategy calls or maybe some more aggressive moves on the restart. Looks like all the field will pull it down here. We're just outside, 20 laps to go, and looks like Zach Michael will take the right-hand turn. He'll stay out, but for the most part, everyone else down the road. back here live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we get ready for yet another restart. Chris Wright will be the leader after those pit stops. Mark Murphy, Bradley Burke, Michael Larea, and Corey Hoover, your top 5 for this restart. Going to be 20 laps to go here. Going to have to see how this all plays out. The later you get in the race, the more intense these restarts are. With how tough turn 1 already is, it'll definitely get interesting here. Going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, let's hope the cautions are being followed here as we come into our last 21 laps.
So there we go. Pace car pulls off. Chris Wright brings the entire field to the attention on the front straightaway. And he will get ready to use that inside line for the restart. Got to make sure you don't spin the tires. Does a nice job there on the gas. And we are back to racing here in Indy. Corey Hoover's going to get a little bit loose there in turn 1. Does a nice job to gather it up. Everyone has to check up there, but they are neck and neck, side by side for the lead.
With Chris Wright up in position, he's going to have first place for half this match.
And a caution comes out there. Looks like Trevor Rompolo, a couple other cars. Bradley Grant Davis involved as well. And have some contact there in turn 2. With that relatively being just a couple of turns, shouldn't expect most of these guys to come down pit road. Looks like Michael Finlayson on 9th going to be the first car to come pit road, and he'll bring pretty much everyone 9th on back with him. So these guys will take a chance to make some adjustments, possibly with the amount of fuel they put in the car. To go.
I gotta say, a lot of these races are just so cool that number of cautions are thrown in that we could just end this one up, wrap it up, and let's just call it a night, ladies and gentlemen, as lap 18. Or as it'll be lap 15 when we finish this caution up. We're on our way again.
Pace car lights go off there. We are now 16 laps to go. We'll get the green with 15 laps to go. So getting really down to the latter stages of this race. Chris Wright, Mark Murphy, your front row for this restart. Nothing's changed there. Pretty much the same top 5. Bradley Burke, Michael Larrea, and Shane Terrian. Corey Hoover, he's drifted back to 6th. Doy Woods, 7th. 8th is Ryan Dyson. Mark Rapolo is back in 9th. Zach Michael rounds out the top 10. Bronson Stafford 11th. Michael Finlayson back in 12th. 13th, Tom Bourne. Joe Lawrence back in 14th. Thomas Story is running top 15 and 15th. 16th, Mike Tellier. Chad Coleman. Jamie Haley. Trevor Rapolo. Riley Grant Davis. Joseph Tyson. Jason Thompson round out the rest of the field for tonight's event. 22 cars started. 20 still running on the racetrack as we get ready for the restart. I think definitely tonight we've seen dominance from Chris Wright, so I would say no doubt about it. That 20 car has got the speed, and he's going to be the one to beat. Going to be on the first position here for the restart, so going to be the control car. I think definitely Chris Wright going to bring home the victory unless someone steps on his progress. He's been fast.
That's a safe bet. Yeah, I don't see a lot of other racers actually contending with him. I mean, we do have Murphy, who hasn't actually competed for the first place position since I've stepped in on a large scale like this, so I think that it could be pretty interesting to see a ride.
It's back to restart, but oh, big time problems in the back of the field. They get together in turn 1, and that'll be another caution. These guys definitely having a tough time getting back going here. Seems like ever since that caution, Prince had a tough break, and that caught up several cars in the mid-pack.
I don't think the caution's on.
Yeah, we actually do stay green. Surprisingly there, they gathered it back up. There was a car around, but it was off the racing surface, so nonetheless we'll stay green, and it's going to be quite a big gap from the first 7 cars or so all the way back to the rest of the field.
That's crazy considering the fact that we watched this those cars were those, at least 3 of them that ran into each other there, and it's definitely thinned out the pack a lot more. I mean, yeah, it's kind of set back all these racers back here, as we see even some damage done to these vehicles and some major damage.
No caution, but that doesn't mean that there's been anything short but action up front as these top 5 or 6 cars continue to battle hard. Chris Wright, your leader, and everyone else behind him, well, they have no idea really where they want to go. They want to go to the front, but they're trying all kinds of different lines back here. Shane Terrian, a little bit of a block on Corey Hoover back there for the 5th spot, and also Michael Larrea back there battling there as well. All 3 of these guys trying to get back into the top 4. Try and challenge these top 3 as they continue to break over. Bunch of these guys getting really loose off the corner. Mark Murphy got really loose. Doy Woods, he got really loose as well. Was able to correct it there. These guys, they're pushing hard because they know this race coming to a close. But anytime you do that, especially off turn 2, it's going to get dicey. It looks like we have another car.
Oh, as we have the caution out, it was probably some love tap on the wall there. Probably is surprising enough that there'll be a caution considering we saw that huge wreckage. Yeah, as we try to bring around and see what we saw affected by that.
Looks like it's going to be the 42 of Michael Finlayson and the 24 of Riley Grant Davis. They get together there. Looks like Finlayson once again loops it off turn 2, so that's the 3rd time that car's gone around, and This time, definitely a lot harder contact, and also Rally Grant Davis, hard impact with the inside wall. Going to be the end of probably the night for both those guys.
Oh, Joseph Thias, who was a #1 contender, is no longer racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting fact. That's a disappointment. Not gonna lie, that's definitely thinned out. Some of the top contenders here. Just so much wreckage, so many racers on such a time lapse. Unfortunately enough, the cautions just kept flying.
We're down to 12 laps to go, and I don't even know if we're really done wrecking at this point. Got plenty of time left.
We'll have 7 laps to go, and you know what, maybe another caution will be thrown out. But I'd rather not see this race just end up in one of those stalemates through cautions, to be honest.
Hit strategy going to be very interesting here as Chris Wright stays out, but everyone else behind him is going to bring it down pit road.
I think Chris Wright has the right idea here, to be honest. I think that he has enough tread on his tires and enough gas in his gas tank to make it 11 miles at least. I mean, with it was the last caution, everyone went down pit alley there. I think they should be set.
It's going to be Chris Wright, Doy Woods, and Trevor Roppolo going to go ahead and stay out. Everybody else, they're on and off of pit road, at least at this point. Shane Terrian will win the race off pit road. Got plenty of other guys going to use this chance to maybe fix some of that damage they got on that initial restart. We saw that wreck that didn't cause a caution. Plenty of cars received some kind of damage, so they'll take this time to repair that. And for everyone else, 4 tires and fuel and a chance to go out there on a new set of stickers and make something happen. Haste car lights go off, get back ready to get back green flag racing here. Going to be inside 10 laps to go. Chris Wright, Doy Woods, your new front row. Trevor Rompolo, he's going to stay out despite some rear end damage. Going to have to see how that car is on the restart. And Shane Terrian and Bronson Stafford round out your top 5. Corey Hoover, some notables. Corey Hoover back in 6th. Brian Dyson 7th. Michael Larea 8th. Chad Coleman's back in 9th despite being involved in some wrecks. And Thomas Story, he's up to 12th. It's a career run for that car. See if he can finish possibly inside the top 10.
You know, Chris Wright here has been glitching out a little bit as he flickers every now and again. I'm thinking he's just waiting for this race to get over. What do you think there, Shane?
I think definitely anytime you know, he's having problems like that, especially in the lead, he wants this race to pretty much be over at this point. But he's got to drive that car right now. We're back to green flag racing. It's going to be hard battling for the lead as Doy Woods tries to make a move on the outside.
And he's not going to this one. It's a successful match. We're not hitting anyone. But just to show you that, 16 last time.
Corey Hoover's made his way back inside the top 4, trying to make a move for 3rd here on Doy Woods. Throws it in there, not a lot of room on the curving, but he's going to do a nice job to make it work and take away the 3rd spot. Field pretty much single file for the time being. Got one battle for 10th back here. Bradley Burke. He's made a nice job to get by Mark Murphy, but watching Chad Coleman and Trevor Rompolo as Trevor continues to fall back with that rear end damage. But those guys pretty much the only side-by-side battle at the moment. Good battles going on up front. Michael Larea and Bronson Stafford trying to make something happen here. This is the battle for 5th. Bronson's doing a nice job. He's been inside the top 10 for the most part. He started 13th, so he's been toward the front all night. Been nice improvements there, and in the top 5 during the closing stages. Definitely would be a solid run for that car. But here comes Corey Hoover to the inside of Shane Terrian here for the 2nd spot. Corey Hoover's always had the speed. It's been the long run that's been the problem, but now with 4 laps to go this time by, there will be no long run for Corey Hoover, so it's going to be all about getting it done. He's gone all the way to the outside to possibly take a little lead in turn 1. Battle kind of subsides itself. Corey back to the second spot. Here comes Shane Terrian to his outside to try and take away the second spot. Nothing doing there. Doy Woods has moved his way up into 4th with Michael Larea back in the top 5 here. 3 laps to go.
Yeah, as this comes, there's as this comes down to that note, we see, of course, we have the number 20 machine as well. But, one of the 2 winners here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still going to consider that out this one. However, in any way, shape, or form, put down Hoover.
Had a little bit of a mix-up back there outside the top 3, but nonetheless, that's Chris Wright, Corey Hoover. Have to see how these guys do here with 2 laps to go. Look at the big-time block there by Chris Wright. Defensive driving. Corey Hoover's going to try and back up the turn, get the run off the corner. They're both loose, little beating and banging there. The whole field's catching back up. These front 2 could be a sit and duck into turn 3 as Corey Hoover has to go all the way to the grass with the block. But nonetheless, tons of guys behind him. Chris Wright, white flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. See if he can hold him off.
You know, honestly, Chris has a solid strategy. Who knows the strategy?
I think he does now as he goes around. Big time contact. Yep. Final lap. Big time contact there. Michael Larea, Corey Hoover go around. That's going to be the end of their nights. They're not going to finish. Back to the win. Here we go. Chris Wright, Shane Terrian. It's Chris Wright's race to lose, but Shane Terrian right on the back bumper here. Chris Wright gets very loose in 3 and 4. Going to be side by side. Who's going to win it off turn 4?
Honestly, I think that catch a break in any way between these top contenders here, all competing for the winning spot. He has a little bit of a winner since Hoover's had dropped out a little bit, unfortunately.
And that'll be the end of the race. Chris Wright takes home the victory here tonight. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Have to see where Corey Hoover finishes. He's currently getting pushed back by Joe Lawrence. That car will finish, but not under its own power, so tough break for Corey. Michael Larea. That car does come across the finish line unofficially in 12th. So we'll have to see where Corey finishes, but that's going to do it here from Indianapolis.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to send it back over to Shane here as he gives you guys the details.
Yeah, Chris Wright wins tonight. We'll do a full grid rundown. Chris Wright finishes, obviously, the first spot after a dominating win. Shane Terrian second, Mark Murphy third, Doy Woods fourth with Bronson Stafford in fifth. Ryan Dyson finishes 6th, Chad Coleman 7th, 8th Bradley Burke, Trevor Roppolo 9th, with Michael Finlayson back to round out the top 10, Mark Roppolo 11th, Michael Larea, as we said, in 12th, Thomas Story comes back to finish 13th, Mike Tallier 14th, Joe Lawrence 15th, Corey Hoover unofficially will finish in 16th tonight with Jamie Haley in 17th, Zach Michael 18th, 19th Riley Grant Davis. Tom Bourne will finish 20th with 21st Joseph Tice, and Jason Thompson will go ahead and finish 22nd. So after tonight's race, Corey Hoover's going to definitely lose a little bit of that point lead, but still a lot of cushion there for him, still over race.
And I think we're going to call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a crazy night full of cautions here. A lot of green flag racing going on, but the second half has definitely been caution after caution as we see our winner here, Chris Wright, doing some winning donuts out there, enjoying life a little bit. He definitely earned that. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. We are signing in.